You're watching New Car Spin, and would you look at that grass? Just look at it. Actually, this is what I want you to see. It's my flashlight / lantern. It's got 3 different levels of light, and then it has a red light, which is cool, and it's got this slim profile, and then it has 2 hooks. Basically, they're like C-shapes, and they're spring-loaded, right? And they have they have an interesting charging base. Let me show it to you. There it is. And basically, you just put this thing in here, and then you rotate it, and it charges. And this charges as well. Now, I've seen this before in a Toyota Tacoma. I did not like the sound quality out of it, but it seems like maybe, I don't know, maybe they've made some changes. There we go. Obviously this is the Toyota 4Runner, but it's not just any 4Runner. It's the TRD Pro, and not just any TRD Pro, because there are 7 TRD trim levels now. This one is it's called Mud Bath, but I think it's the Baja version. And it comes with these pretty nice sized Toyo tires. I don't think they're that great. They make this thing handle like a speedboat, basically. It's got some ride quality pros and cons. Mostly though, it's got some packaging issues. Let's look back here. I had to take the headrest off in order to fold the seat down, and the seats fold like this manually and then flip up. Reminds me of my old Mitsubishi Montero, but my Montero had a strut here. But this is a little bit better than the Tacoma because there's more room back here. So obviously we get this over the Tacoma TRD Pro. And then this doesn't have those seats that go like this, right? Because this doesn't have the air shock suspension, which makes the seats so much better in here than in the Tacoma. Of course, we have a black headliner and an itty bitty sunroof. There it is, itty bitty sunroof. And let me show you the real issue. iForce Max, which means it's the hybrid, which means look at that load floor. Would you look at that? Oh my god. It's got this little cargo cover that comes out, but then you can't, I can't store it in the car anywhere, in the truck anywhere. And then you'll see there's like debris everywhere because they use not much of a nice carpet here, because no matter what you do, this debris is not going to come out of the carpet. And then you need a mat. So you can flip this over, I guess, or you can get the all-weather mat, which I would prefer. And then here we have another storage space, which would have the there's just parts everywhere. Wiring harness, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, I'm gonna show you one more thing. It's over here. Now, yeah, it does run on 87 octane if you want. At least that's what I've been putting in it. Now we have this panel. And this is weird, because if you buy a used 400 years from now, you want to make sure it's got this panel, and then it's got to have this panel here, which comes out, and none of this makes any sense. It doesn't make any freaking sense. Now, I would say I would rather have the SR5, the bone stock one, because number one, this is more of a flex than anything, but it's not really that much of a flex, to be honest. The reason why I'm saying it's more of a flex purchase is because this thing is, well, let me get the window sticker for you. Let's go to the passenger side. Ooh. Look at that. That's great. Love it. Okay, 4-wheel drive TRD Pro, 4Runner hybrid, and 50 state emissions, blah, 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 blah. You know, it doesn't say, like, if it's the Baja version or not. Basically, TRD Pro is for high-speed off-roading. 23 combined, that's not right. I'm getting about 17. Made in Japan, which is probably the reason for the problem here. Because here's the problem. $72,000 for this. Hard pass. I don't care what people say with their argument about tariffs. Tariffs are on the wholesale price. They're not on the retail price. So it's not really going to make much of a difference here. 10% on $25,000 wholesale, whatever, is not the same as 10% on $60,000. You know, $2,200 versus $6,000. The real issue here is when you buy this, you're paying for their financing anyway, because Toyota is actually a large bank, and you're giving them a lot of money when you're doing something like this. That's why I'd rather have the SR5 with the third row and the four-wheel drive package, and maybe, I think it even already has a tow hitch, and maybe you just leave it at that. And then you save $20,000. And it's hard to believe that they have so many different TRD versions, but it seems like they're doing this just to appease car dealers. You know, they want more options than just the TRD Pro or the TRD Sport. And now they've got tons of different TRD versions, and I don't know about this either. The sticker, it just, none of it seems like $72,000 worth. And I figured, hey, if you get the cheaper one, you know, would it be much different inside? I don't think so, but now granted, this is easy to wipe down, but you think that's what someone paying $72,000 wants? No, they'd be better off with I don't know, a Land Rover. And call me biased, because while this may be the trunk of the 4Runner, there is a vehicle on the market today that costs about the same. And oh, it's right there. Let's look at the difference, shall we? For this money, this kind of money here, you can get right there. And they still sell those brand new, by the way. So this is relevant. See this high load floor? This is because of the hybrid system. So it doesn't have a third row seat because of that. Look at my keychain, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. This is my personal car over here. That says Diddley Squat Farm. Yeah, because I've been there. It's awesome. All right. You see the difference? There's a difference. Now this thing isn't perfect either, but you know, that's the problem, right? Like, oh, I do, here you want my third row? I'll get you my third row. Your 4Runner ain't doing this. A lot of new cars ain't doing this either. So this is a very rare example of cars. This is a 2018. Of course, you got to manually lift this up. Of course, now when this is up, you have zero visibility from your rearview mirror, but it doesn't matter. Plus, I can fold everything completely flat. I could have hit that button, I guess. So when you're camping and stuff, this makes total sense, right? You can even throw your sleeping bag down in there. Look at that. And you have this bench seat. Anyway, for, I don't know, $75,000, you can get one of these. Or for $71,000, you can get one of those. My biggest issue here is, if this is high-speed off-road and the Baja, blah, 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 unless you're some dude that drinks Blue Bottle coffee and Toyota interviewed you at the Blue Bottle coffee shop and you're taking your tea supplements and whatever, and you're telling them how much you love to do overlanding. First of all, overlanding doesn't require high-speed off-road. Secondly, $71,000 for this, you're not taking it to Mexico. You just aren't. Not for safety reasons, but because for your insurance and your loss and everything else, you're not risking it. You're just going to go do something different. So this is my problem with the $72,000 4Runner. It doesn't have the metal bumpers that the Tacoma had, which it should. It doesn't have any way to get up to this roof rack, although this roof rack is pretty nice. It doesn't make any noise, but it does have a pine cone stuck in it somewhere. Let's see if I can find that. I wish this was flatter. It's got like too much space going on here, and it should have been made out of the composite material of the truck bed of the Tundra. It should have been flat like this. Here, flat, straight across. And then attachment points would have been great for max tracks or something, so I can go, well, I'm not going to have to rescue a Land Rover, but I'm going to have to rescue a Jeep Wrangler, that's for sure. And then, where's the metal bumper in the front? Like, the TRD Tacoma has a metal bumper, and I don't have it here, but even if it had a metal bumper, I would be able to have, like, it really needs to have anchor points in it, so that they can have accessories that you can put into, like, a receiver into the metal bumper, and then, like, you know, maybe do a pull or something for shade, or you do other stuff here. But no, this is what you get, a bunch of plastic. That's metal. Yeah, I mean, what's the difference? One piece. Oh, and headlight washers, which, you know, yeah, I think you're going to need on this thing. Why aren't there headlight washers? It doesn't make any sense. All you're just buying is the badge here, and you're expecting reliability, but as we know from the Tacoma people, is that the 4 cylinders are not that reliable, and this is my problem with $72,000, with the reliability issues that people are having with the Tacoma. You're going to be a very upset buyer of this thing, far more upset than you would be if you had one of these. And that's what I'm getting at. Toyota needs to do better on the price. Even the bone stock SR5 at 53, 55, somewhere in there, with the options of the 4-wheel drive and the third row seat, it's still overpriced. And they can claim tariffs all they want. I don't buy it. As far as the ride quality, this rides much better because of the air suspension. This is obviously, you'd have to go off-road all the time to appreciate it, which you're not really doing here in Texas. So this is preferable. This is only for 3 or 4 days a year, unless you have your own ranch, which in this case you wouldn't have one of these because you'd have a truck. So here we go, they're picking up the car. Next car is a Lexus TX something, whatever. Great. Thanks a lot, Toyota. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. See you.